Google doesn't manipulate search results. Then why is it impossible to find positive mentions of MAGA anywhere? Try Googling MAGA. You will have an easier time finding a film blogger on Rotten Tomatoes who called The Irishman underrated. Around the time Robert De Niro started popping off at the mouth on The View, looking like Betsy Ross, falling apart at the seams. Although I don't think software engineers that work for Google are guilty of sexual harassment because they're too busy uh, banging out code to hit on girls in the first place. Plus, only ugly girls go to coding boot camp. Plus, their typical command line isn't massage my carpal tunnel ho. Which reminds me, I would tell my children not to make fun of ugly women, especially when you've been blessed with out of this world looks, and ugliness is largely outside of our control, but you could control the inner light, which contributes to rampant wenchy ugliness. So I just want to reminisce it for a bit. Remember the original Women's March on Washington before the No Kings Rally demonstrations? I just remember the original Women's March on Washington, where Madonna was like threatening to blow up the White House when she wasn't playing Kick the Can with her clip. And I remember staring at the TV and thinking, wow, that's a whole lot of rosies sporting a whole lot of chins. And then my mom says, when we were blessed with her presence, she says, did you have my granddaughter watch the Women's March on Washington? I said, no, Mom, I have no interest ever in showing my daughter the Women's March on Washington. She's finally learning how to read. So the last thing I need in my life is my daughter trying to make out one of those protest signs on the TV saying, Daddy, what's p pussy power? Is that a new show on Amazon Prime? Back then, I remember Santana was talking about Carlos Santana, the Latino Jimmy. I remember talking about how Trump has a dark energy. And I'm thinking, Carlos, what does Hillary have to do with this conversation? Last time I checked, she's the best selling voodoo doll in Haiti year after year. And why can't we admit that voter ID is a good thing? I don't care that voter ID is racist. How else can we tell MS-13 apart with all that shit on their face? And rooting for Hamas, Steve Kerr, rooting for Hamas is a bandwagon move. It's like Frances Bean Cobain rocking scarves to Foo Fighter concerts after her mother killed off grunge for good, aka sloppy second hole these days. I'm watching Lego Masters with my son. I'm trying to accentuate his builder genius. It's the Wishing Well architect, Kosher Klaus Sushi, Arthur Morrison Kornbluth, doing everything in my power to perpetuate his mojo. It's in a perpetual state of rising, rising. We're watching Lego Masters. I understand my son has been able to complete like adult level Lego since he was like 2. And then all of a sudden we see a commercial for Truvada, which is a HIV suppression drug. And all of a sudden I blurt out in front of my glorious son, holy fuck, kid, daddy is older than AIDS. Son, I remember when AIDS used to be a full blown death sentence, like Kurt Cobain's shotgun marriage to Courtney Love. And Hamas aren't good recruiters, and killing more members of Hamas does not make it easier for them to recruit. All Hamas does is target other lonely virgins on WhatsApp who wish their phones blew up. And as much as Google sucks, I hate anti Semitic Alexa that much more. I do my best to instill Jewish pride, and this is before hipsters for Hamas became a thing. Got 3 children. We do Shabbat every Friday. I kept kosher for almost 3 years in full, writing a book called The Kosher Comedians, which is a lot more than what other culturally identifiable Jews do these days. And for Hanukkah each year, our tradition is whenever, before we give gifts, well, first we have this one new tradition, which I love. It's a personal favorite. On the first night of Hanukkah, when my son, otherwise known as Chosen Curls, was bound to, if Chosen Curls gets 3 gifts on one night, he's only able to open them after he yells, Hanukkah, hat trick, holla, thank you very much. But outside of that, another favorite Hanukkah tradition is we have Alexa play the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler. And I'm still waiting for like that new addendum verse for Adam Sandler to add to the Hanukkah song. That being Linda Sarsour and Babyface Omar gonna work out. Never fans. Holla! Never fans. Thank you very much. So anti-Semitic Alexa can't help herself because every time this past Hanukkah, every time without fail, after I'd ask Alexa to play the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler, she would automatically play Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen, as if her Christmas bonus from Amazon was riding on it. So, of course, I start yelling at Alexa, saying, Alexa, how many times I gotta tell you? Playing Christmas music, whether it be at the office, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, or even during the week of Hanukkah, is premature. That's like Santa Claus filling out his naughty list before Fauci, aka Fuckface Fauci. That's like Santa Claus. You can't play Christmas music on Hanukkah, before Hanukkah. It's always premature. That's like Santa Claus filling out his naughty list before Fauci shorted his stock in AstraZeneca. Holla! Never fans, thank you very much.